Imagine two students. The first student has the privilege to attend one of the more successful and higher socio-economic status schools on the central coast of New South Wales. This school is called Central Coast Grammar School. Our second student attends Gorokan High School, a public school. This public school is not one of the worst, but the students who attend this school and many other public schools fall into the lower socio-economic status. As you will see through the data on the following slides, Central Coast Grammar School's higher socio-economic standing allows students to outperform their peers as Gorokan High School status works to the opposite. Central Coast Grammar has a higher index of community socio-educational advantage score. Australia's average is 1,000, but with the Central Coast Grammar School having a score of 1,147, it clearly shows that 66% of students that attend the school come from a high socio-economic background. This table shows Central Coast Grammar School income per year, which equates to per student, allowing for more resources to be poured into the classroom. The more funding a school has in total and per student allows for a more successful education. Gorokan High School, as a comparison to the Central Coast Grammar School, shows the clear divide in education through socio-economic backgrounds and the effect it has on the student's education. Through this table, we can see that Gorokan High School has more funding from the federal state government, but the fees, charges, and parent contributions are less than the Central Coast Grammar School. This has an effect on their ability to perform well in their education. NAPLAN covers a range of subjects and allows us to draw a conclusion on any given student's knowledge of those topics. When we zoom out and take a look at a broader picture, such as socio-economic status, we can see that the parental income and a school status also plays a major role in their performance. By looking at this and the following charts, we can see that the students from Central Coast Grammar School would perform better, score, mostly in band 7 to 10 range, whilst their peers from Gorokan High School would fall under band 5 and 8. Curriculum is a term used towards teachers and schools of education. It refers to courses, lessons, and academic content taught in a school or a specific course or program. Curriculum throughout different schools can almost be identical, but taught differently depending on teachers themselves and how they follow the curriculum syllabus. Although curriculum can be very similar throughout all schools, students can have many different experiences depending on what school they attend and even what teacher they have. Public schools are required to follow specific state guidelines and the defined curriculum, while private schools have more freedom to create their own courses and curricula as long as it meets the certain standards. Whether or not this results in a higher standard of education will differ from school to school. Curriculum can be very similar throughout all schools. This case study explains how certain schools with a higher socio-economic status, such as Central Coast Grammar School, and a school with a lower status, such as Gorokan High School, have a different impact on their students with the curriculum they may use and follow. As we can look further into the separate schools and what results they form for their students, we can see that the curriculum for Central Coast Grammar is a different experience to Gorokan High School, and the difference between both private and public schools. Being such a high-profile private school, students at Central Coast Grammar have a very wide choice of electives to choose from for the Year 9 and continue to do so in the further years. This list of subjects for HSC students at Central Coast Grammar School is an example of a wider range of curriculum throughout private schools. This is the standard curriculum for Gorokan High School. As you can see, there are fewer options. Pedagogy, put simply, is the method and practice of teaching and how what the teacher does influences the way students learn. It is the act of teaching. This is the pedagogy for Gorokan High School. This is the pedagogy for Central Coast Grammar School. This case study explains the gateway to pedagogy between two different students going to both Central Coast Grammar School and Gorokan High School. Assessment is the process of evaluating and measuring an individual's achievement. This is done through assignments and examinations. Assessments serve multiple purposes, including assessment of learning, assessment for learning, and assessment as learning. Assessment, when incorporating interaction with teachers and other students, can boost a student's engagement and overall motivation. Assessment activities or strategies should be accessible to all students to allow for equal opportunities to each individual.